So everybody knows my love for 67 Mustang fastbacks. I mean, I've had one as long as I can remember. So with that being said, with Helleanor going back on the street, it's still going to have a pretty good sized tire under it. So we had another 67 fastback, and we thought, well, why don't we make it our small tire car? So this is going to be our new small tire, and small tire will be a 28-10-5 tire, but this car will be all steel, steel body, no fiberglass on the car whatsoever. But with that being said, it's going to make a lot of horsepower, but we still want to keep the Pro Touring option for the car, and then be able to put slicks and skinnies back on the car in order to go out and play on the street. So we will have air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, whatever, you know, everything. It's going to have the whole works. But with that being said, a lot of the parts that we decided to go with on this thing is, number one, with making that much power, we have to have a good rear end behind it. So we called up Mosier, and they built us a new setup for it. 40 spline axles, 373 gears. We'll be able to do anything that we want to do on this car with this rear end. Also on our suspension, normally we like going with Pro Touring style suspension. Well, with what we're doing with as much horsepower as this car is going to be making, we had to go with a suspension that kind of met both demands, and we chose to go with the AJE suspension on that. And we will have a tubular K member, and the rear suspension converts it over to a late model Mustang type triangular 4-link suspension. So that'll allow us to launch the car and do the things that we need to do to compete with these guys on the street. And the key word is street. So we are mini tubbing the car. We chose Detroit Speed mini tubs for it, and we've had other builds that we've used Detroit Speed on, and their stuff always works great, fits nice, and so that's the reason we chose to go with this particular item here. The transmission, we chose a Rosler 4L80, and this thing will hold up to around 1500 horsepower, but it also allows us to have a overdrive. So if we want to go cruise the car, put the other wheels and tires on it, we can go drive it 80 mile an hour down the road, whatever we want to do with it. So this car is going to be the best of both worlds. And we also chose a Detroit Speed fuel tank for it, and we'll do our own modifications to it, and then sub in that we'll have a sump in it, and so that way we make sure when we launch that we're not starving the motor for fuel. The converter, we have a 2500 stall from PTC, and they did this custom converter for us. Guys up there, they're just awesome. Anytime I call them, tell them what I want, they fix this up. So this will be this will help transfer the power to the rear and get us where we need to be on that. Back on our wheels, we have two sets of wheels. We have a set of Budniks coming for this thing that they're custom making for us. So we'll have that Pro Touring look on the car, and then at night when we want to go race, we will have our weld wheels on there. And so we'll have 15-inch. A lot of guys are going with the 17-inch on the front. With this being kind of old school, we wanted to go back to the 15-inch and keep it the old school look on the car. So we'll have 15 by 10s on the back. Also, we'll have wheelwood brakes on the car, all four corners to help us stop. And so that's kind of where we're at on that. If you'll come over here, you can see we've got one side of the mini tubs in, and so we're starting on this side. Hopefully we'll have this done pretty quick. We can get the suspension in there and get the car over to the chassis shop. All right guys, that's it for today. If you guys want to guess at what cubic inch motor that we're putting in here and what kind, just make a comment down below and let's see who gets it right.